Over the weekend, a neo-Nazi group disrupted a drag event in Ohio. The group waved swastika flags, chanting, "There will be blood," on Saturday during a protest against a drag queen story hour held in Wadsworth, Ohio. The all-ages event was billed as a rock and roll humanist drag queen story hour, and it took place in the city's Memorial Park. So now, again, as we've seen all over the country, right-wing groups have showed up to protest these drag events because they think it's the grooming of children or sexualization of children, which, if it's billed as an all-ages event, then no. Are there situations where there is sexuality in drag performances? Yes. Yes, there is. Is dressing in drag or being a drag queen or being a part of a drag queen event inherently sexual? No. It's basically dressing up and doing a performance, and that does not mean necessarily that it is sexual. If it's billed as an all ages event, by nature, by its very nature, it is not sexual. But again, that does not matter to the right wing, to neo-Nazis, who are not smart. They're not intelligent people. And so, of course, they showed up. And by the way, they're not the only ones that showed up. There were other groups as well. In fact, these other groups actually ended up disagreeing and fighting with the Nazis. I'm going to tell you who they are, okay? So now, first the neo-Nazis show up, and then, of course, there's the Proud Boys. Yes, Proud Boys. And then you also had White Lives Matter. What does White Lives Matter have to do with a drag thing? So they show up, and White Lives Matter and the Proud Boys, they're like, we do not want to be associated with the neo-Nazis. They actually ended up getting in fights with each other. Wow. Okay. Crazy. That's crazy. Look, again, I'm kind of laughing at the fact that they're fighting with each other, but I also want to be I want to be clear that this is a very dangerous thing when you have all these hate groups that show up to these events. Now, again, the neo-Nazis were, chanting things like, "There will be blood." So that, again, that is incredibly damaging. That is incredibly dangerous. That's scary as hell. And so having them show up at these events, it's absolutely horrifying. The neo-Nazis are far more dangerous to children than a drag queen could ever be. Ever be. Which is to say, of course, drag queens are not a danger to children, but Nazis absolutely are. So, now, oh, by the way, it wasn't just White Lives Matter Ohio, but also, and the Proud Boys, but also White Nationalist Patriot Front. According to, documentary filmmaker Ford Fisher, who filmed this, he said that all those other groups had tried to distance themselves from the Nazis and ended up getting, again, into some fights. Wow. I mean, look, hey, let them fight. Let them fight. But for God's sakes, leave the kids and the drag queens alone. They have done absolutely nothing to warrant this kind of just disgusting behavior. By the way, unsurprisingly, with all these horrible groups there was homophobic and racist abuse, including the N-word targeted at attendees, and even a black journalist from the local newspaper Akron Beacon Journal had to leave for his own safety after being racially abused. So, look, there is a danger in this country, and it's these right-wing, far-right, reactionaries. Those are the ones that are causing the problems. Those are the ones that are inflicting harm upon children. They are the actual danger. The racism and hatred do not belong in our society. And we should do everything we can, again, to stand against that and to stand against their abhorrent, disgusting beliefs.